Hey there, it's me Red Knight and welcome back to my channel for a Heyday video. Now today's video is going to be focusing on the brand new beta test that's within the game called Fresh Beats. This is where we get these music boosters that actually increase the speed of certain aspects of the game. Now what are those aspects? It's a temporary perk that boosts your crops, your animals and your production for a specific amount of time. Now, is it beneficial? Is it useful? I'm going to give you a lot of views and opinions as I walk you through this video, show you some video gameplay as well. And I'd also like you at the end of this to comment your views on this if you've actually got the test. Now, if you are one of the lucky ones and has been given the opportunity to test this, you will get 3 of these records within the actual game. Now, one is for crops, one is for livestock, and one is for production. And basically, it speeds up that aspect of the game for a specific amount of time. So, for example, if we look at the production side there, you can see it actually speeds up the production. And this booster will last for about 5 minutes, and it speeds up the production by 15 times faster than what it would normally be. Now, this can be very handy indeed, because it means you can actually get certain products a lot quicker. However, I would recommend preloading the machines before you actually collect or purchase or use this actual beat. The only downside is if you're getting on the Wheel of Fortune or if you collect it without being prepared, it's going to activate straight away, and that time ticks down while you are loading your machines, hence the fact that I do wish we could activate it when we choose, like you would do with normal boosters. The other one there is for the livestock. Now the livestock relates to your chickens, your cows, your pigs, your sheep and your goats, but not your actual pets or horses or any of the other animals within the game. Now it's all about producing products for your farm, and if you've got the animal feed ready, you can actually cycle through the livestock very quickly indeed, or for specific animals anyway. Also as well, if you've got any other boosters that relate to this, you can activate them together with any of these music beats and it will produce a little bit faster as well. So that's a bit of a positive point. Now for the crops itself, it's kind of interesting. Depending on the crop you've got down there, it does make them faster. If they are short time based crops, they will be 15% or 15 times faster for 5 minutes, and you can turn around the crops quite quickly. However, if it's a longer producing one like the tea leaves as an example, it does reduce it down for a specific amount of time, but after 5 minutes it's kind of like not useful. You can see an example here where I've got the tomatoes. Normally it's like 5 hours and 59 minutes. In this case it goes down to 3 hours and 50 minutes, which is quite a bit of a drop, but it's only for 5 minutes. So for a 5 minute cycle it will speed it up a little bit. However, once the cycle stops, it then, whatever that finishing time was, it continues from that point. So it can be a little bit handy on that side because it does speed up. Now we are getting these 3 beats within the game, and they will come in a variety of ways, and when you actually activate them you'll see that they will last for a specific amount of time. So let's just go through the actual user interface just so you can see what it's like. Now I've got the 3 beats down here, all activated at the same time. You can see the times ticking down just below the actual record itself. There's some little boxes off to the side which we still don't know what they are for, but it tells you that this is active for 5 minutes and that specific activity will be 15 times faster. Now the great thing about these, like any crop will be boosted, any animal will be boosted, any production will be boosted for that specific amount of time. So it activates everything. Once it's actually finished, okay, for a specific amount of time you will get the chance to replay that actual record, and this is going to cost you diamonds. Now depending on the actual beat in question will depend on the quantity of diamonds. You can see down there 3, 6 and 7, and it will literally do exactly the same activity for a specific amount of time again. Now, is it beneficial? Your choice at the end of the day. If you're happy to spend the diamonds to speed it up and speed it up and speed it up, you can actually go through every single machine and speed those up very quickly indeed. So there is that benefit on that side, but again it's costing diamonds. Now please be aware, as you do the one speed up and you rerun it again and then you do it another time, the cost of the diamonds increases from what I've seen so far. So even though it may start with a few diamonds, as you activate that record again the price goes up. Now you saw in the user interface these beautiful little squares. Now I don't know yet what this is for, and I can't get this information even though it has been asked for. My guess is that if there is another opportunity to get another beat at the same time, it will literally be the beat that's activated and maybe another beat, another beat, another beat for the same one. So if you're like getting 2 or 3, they will go into these slots here, and then when one finishes, the next one will activate, one will finish, the next one activate, and this is my thinking. Now, how do we get the beats? Now, one way you can do it is by leveling up within the game. Now, I've leveled up a few times with some of my farms recently, one to level 50, one to level 100, and so on. And you can see down here some examples where the beats have actually come with that level up within the actual regular items you are getting. So like level 100, I got 3 of the beats. With the level 66, I got 1 beat. And again, they will vary depending on the level, and then once you've got them, they activate straight away. You've got some other opportunities for getting them. You will find them in the in-game shop at the top. Sometimes they'll be free, sometimes you've got to pay for them. Personally, paying for them I don't think is that beneficial. However, I think those little slots that I showed you earlier where you see you've got 3 in the imagery will go boom, 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 and that's where they will be stored. So far, I've only used the free ones or the movie advertisement ones. I've had them on the Wheel of Fortune as well, but I've not been lucky enough to win those, so that's fine by me as well. Now, what I want to do is just to show you some videos now of how they actually work and walk you through it. So the first one I'm going to focus on is from the actual beat is the crop one. And I'm going to show you some gameplay now. Later on, I will also be going over the positive points and negative points and showing you some other aspects in another video as I talk about it. So this next section now is going to be crop focused. Now, for me, planting crops is very important indeed. I want to be producing those crops and getting them within the game. So if I do get this crop beat, any crop that I've got down there will be boosted up and will be a little bit faster. You'll see music, as you can see down there, playing, and as you touch on the different crops you've got down there, you can see some will be done quickly, some will be done a little bit later, but the time phrase is actually down. Now, the ones that will be done quickly will be able to be collected. The only downside is you need to make sure that your silo has sufficient storage for harvesting. Additionally, if you've got other beats running at the same time, let's say a production one, you can actually be working your way through producing products or goods very, very quickly indeed. So there is that conjunction of using the crops with the machines in parallel to each other to produce products very quickly. However, it does depend on what you're growing. Like if you decide to grow the tea, as you can see down here, 5 hours and 43 minutes for 5 minutes, but the booster's already activated. So the time I've got left on that actual beat booster there is a little bit less. You'll notice as well that normally you can speed up a single one here for a specific amount of diamonds. Now, by reactivating that actual beat, you're kind of spending the same amount of diamonds, but you're boosting all of the crops, not just that one. So benefit-wise, I think that can be very handy indeed. However, like I said earlier, if you then reactivate that beat a second or third or fourth time, the diamond quantities appear to be increasing. Now, I did notice that when I activated a regular booster at the same time for a crop-based product, in conjunction to using one of the beat ones, for that 5 minutes plus the boosters that I'd activated, the turnaround time was much, much less, so it was very handy indeed. My only issue is in this case that maybe my storage was a bit of a problem, and if I did take those crops and I wanted to use them, it's taking me away from the crops and maybe I'm not there. I will say one thing, as you are actually focusing on the harvest, you cannot walk away. You cannot turn the game off or do anything else. Once that beat is activated for a crop, as you can see me here, you need to be watching and observing because the time ticks around quite quickly. Even though it's only a 5-minute time slot, it is times 15 faster. So whatever you had originally time-wise is now much, much reduced. So certain things will grow or produce very, very quickly indeed. I kind of wish that it were easier for me to see how much time I got left on the beat. The only way I've actually got to do it is to tap on the actual icon itself and look down at the bottom. So I think there's still options that Heyday can do that will allow me to see that the beat has a certain amount of time left, because I'm not really sure without actually tapping it. I still haven't experienced adding more than one beat on this line here. So like I said, I think the actual boxes here are for extra beats. So if you've actually got multiple beats on one line, please take a screenshot for me, send it to me so I can share it on social media, and let me know what happens. Even if you take a little video of the same thing, please do share it with me so I can see it. Now for the animation itself, this music actually flowing from it is kind of interesting to watch. But like I said, there's that time element. How much time do I actually have left for this beat to be working? When's it going to stop? I don't actually have anything down there. And I kind of wish that I could see something. Okay, I can see the little record player against the side of the actual description itself, but that time element is missing. So I think we need some kind of clock or indication to make it a little bit better. Now, how Heyday will do that, I don't know. I'm not really sure where a clock could go or a timer could be beneficial. I know with like regular boosters, you need to tap on the boosters to actually see what it's like and to see how many days you've got left. So that's okay with the longer running ones, but this is like a 5-minute cycle. Now you can see that the actual booster itself has expired here. So this beat is now ready to be replayed or ignored. Now if I press replay, it will ask me like any normal diamond confirmation to confirm it. And it will then continue where I am. If I go and touch on one of the products at the moment, you can see that the actual time has reset and it's gone back to normal. If I click on the actual icon itself that's down there is indicated by the number 1, that shows that I've got a beat down there that needs to be reactivated, and it will just reactivate once I press the diamonds, and it will then continue. So you can see down there the time that I mentioned, like it's reset back to normal. It's dropped down from its regular time, and you can see how much time is actually remaining on this. If I reactivate that beat again, which I'm going to do here, you'll see it's active for the next 5 minutes, and it will just continue doing its cycle with the actual crops that are behind it. And when I go and tap on those crops again in a moment, you'll see that the actual time difference again is a little bit less. Sometimes I feel that it actually does go a little bit faster when doing it, but we will see, we will see. And you can see down there how much time, that time reduction is quite good actually. So benefits, yes and no. I think it can be very beneficial if you want to get a lot of crops done quickly. The fact that I can't really leave the game and I've got to stay there and watch it means I need to make sure that when I get these beats, I've got to be ready to do it. If it's on the Wheel of Fortune, when I activate it, I can't really look at the Wheel of Fortune and say, okay, I'll come back and do it later, because the actual vehicle drives away and I lose the beat, even if I don't win it. If it's in the actual game store itself, so the shop store at the top, I can kind of leave it till later and it still stays there. However, if it is the daily free giveaway, that one does change and reset. So if you haven't collected it, you go back later to collect it, you may find that it cycles through its spawn option again and you lose that actual beat opportunity. At the end of the day, I don't feel I will be buying these. It's not the kind of thing that I'm going to be ultimately interested in. I can see both negative and positive points about it. It's kind of nice that it does speed things up. So maybe if I do plant some crops that I need to do quickly, then get a beat, I can activate it quite fast. Or maybe if I've got a crop that will take quite a few hours to do and I want to speed those up, if I've got a beat, that will be very beneficial to do that. But again, I'm umming and ahhing on this one. I'm still very undecided about it. I don't like the fact that it auto activates. I kind of wish that I could choose when to activate it, and I think that would be a better direction personally to go. Additionally as well, I'll talk more about this a little later, we've already got boosters in the game, so why do we really need these music boosters? Why not just give me another booster that comes within the game that goes into the regular booster storage that is ideal for boosting all crops or all products or all machines or all livestock? I'm not sure why Heyday has actually gone in this direction. Now you can see down there, there's the cost if I wish to do it again. It's now 8 diamonds. If I did an individual crop and speeded it up, then it would be about the same. But by spending 8 diamonds here, I can speed up every single crop within the game. And in some ways, cost-wise, not so bad. Let me know your thoughts in relation to the crops, but this is the basic playing style. This is the same kind of thing for all of these beats, whether it be a machine, whether it's a crop or livestock. You do actually have to watch it and pay attention. Now, in relation to the beats itself, I want to go over some tips. I want to go over the pros and cons now. Now, some tips that I have observed in relation to these beats. If you're focusing on the crops, please make sure you've got sufficient space in your storage. Know what you want to have. You've got to watch and grow them and harvest them and collect them and then replant them again, so it's a continuous activity. For livestock, you need to prepare the feed. You really do. And again, you've got to watch and action it and then collect from the animals, so that feed needs to be ready. Production, preload the machines, your barn storage needs to be there, and you need to make sure you've got resources. Now, as you can see down here, here is the booster one I got earlier for getting to level 100. All three of those go in there, so all three of these beats will be activated at the same time. So I've got the whole farm now that has a bit of a booster to it. And it's kind of interesting to look at the animation. You can see this beautiful music coming up from the actual farmland down there. You can see everything is speeding up for me. The animals have this kind of thing as well, which looks really weird, I must admit, as well for the animals. And then the production machines. Now, in relation to the production machines, you will not see music here on all of the machines if the products are not there working. But if you've actually got products on there, you'll see the music actually coming up. It's kind of cool. However, you'll notice that I want to feed the animals, but I don't have the resources. And it's kind of like, I'm not prepared for it. So in this case, this is a really good example of lack of preparation or awareness of that it's going to happen. So make sure, as I said earlier, you've got animal feed ready in your storage for something like this. I think you're probably going to be using the helpers a lot more as well, maybe in conjunction with these beats. It could be very handy. For the production machines, okay, maybe keeping your machines more active and preloaded with products will definitely be beneficial. So it's definitely making you play your farms a lot more. So I did notice that with these beats, because I'm focusing on them and they're coming up within the shop, I get it, and it's making me play my baby farms a little bit faster. I didn't get this on my main farm, which is a shame, because that's where I spend most of my time. But all my baby farms have had it, and it's kind of like pressuring me to play those farms when maybe I don't have the time. But because I don't have the resources or the machines are not preloaded, because I usually very casual about my playing style like this, it's like, I got to load my machines to take or get the best benefit. But that 5 minutes that I've got is too short. I'm not able to actually get everything done quickly, so I'm actually losing the benefit of the beat. This is why I kind of wish that I could activate it later, if I were able to activate it later, or choose when to start it. That would be much nicer indeed. You can see down here I'm loading up machines, and the turnaround time is really, really good, and I mean really good in some aspects. So I can get some of these done quite quickly indeed, if I had the resources. Definitely. So 15 times faster, or times 15 faster for 5 minutes. Nice. Right, now as you can see here, I've been going through giving you a bit of a gameplay here. I showed you the crop one earlier, and now you can see all three boosters activated at the same time. I've got my viewpoints on it. I'm still umming and ahhing and still using them and testing them, trying them out. Now I want to give feedback to Heyday like I did with the Tiny Trail. Please do comment below my video as well, letting me know your thoughts and feelings if you've actually got this and you've tried it out. Let me know both your pros and cons points. So pros is the positive, cons is the negative aspect. And right after this little video here finishes for this section, I'm going to talk about some of those pros and cons that I've observed as well, which I've already mentioned within the video. Ultimately, it's an interesting idea. I don't think it's really necessary for the game, and maybe this is a kind of activity that Heyday will then take out of the game. I'm kind of concerned that they're adding in features and testing and umming and ahhing and trying new things when they should be focusing more on developing other aspects of the game they've already reintroduced. Like, why are we spending time on this musical booster option when we've already got boosters in the game that we've been asking about to change for quite some time? Like, we've got a load of brand new machines, so why not give me boosters for those machines? We've got a load of new products, why not give me boosters for those products? I want to see the normal boosters modified and added to, not a brand new feature that does the same kind of activity. Because what it's doing is making me generate more resources or spending more money on different things when I've already got it elsewhere. So why do I have to focus in two different areas? It should be the one area for me to be able to get this specific aspect to it, not multiple areas. So Heyday, honestly speaking, in my personal opinion, I think this needs to be removed, and you need to focus more on the regular boosters. That's ultimately the better goal, I feel, for this game. By adding new features just modifies the software and makes it more challenging. Right, now those Beats boosters have expired. I can revive them if I wanted to, but if not, then I don't have to. Now, as I've been mentioning, there's a lot of pros and cons that I've observed, that I've noticed so far. Now, the negative points, okay. The auto action, don't like that one, really don't. I want to be able to choose, and at the moment I can't choose when to activate it. It's only valid at the moment for a 5-minute time cycle. I'd like to see it activated for longer. It costs diamonds to reactivate, and the price keeps increasing. And as I said, we already have boosters. I do like the multi-effect dash usage, and I do like the fact it works with boosters. But those are my viewpoints. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You can see how it works and how it plays, and I've covered enough features for you to understand it. If you've got any questions about this, let me know down below in the comments. Additionally, if you'd like to support me in the game or in the Supercell store, please do use my code RED9. But what's more important, see that little circle? I'm increasing my subscriber base slowly and steadily, which is pleasing me greatly, so why not come and join me by subscribing to my channel? It's free to do. In addition to that, there's some videos there that you may be interested in watching, so check out those as well and give me your feedback on some of the other features. But either way, bye now.